Hi, I'm Simon Cattell and I'm Project Coordinator at Victoria Legal Aid. I'm delighted to welcome you to the online launch of the Your Story, Your Say report. But I want to begin by acknowledging that I'm on the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nations, and I want to pay my respects to elders past and present. I also want to acknowledge the role that colonisation has played in causing trauma and distress, but also that we need to recognise that many solutions for addressing mental health problems lay in the wisdom of First Nations approaches to social and emotional wellbeing. This project, Your Story, Your Say, was run by Victoria Legal Aid because we know that people who use mental health services are often left out of discussions about reform and change. This project sought to capture the stories of people with lived experience and provide those directly to the Royal Commission into Victoria's mental health system. So we've spoken to 34 experts who generously told their story to the Royal Commission. They highlighted what's working, what isn't working, and what the Commission needs to do to fix it. Today, we're fortunate to be joined by two experts who contributed to the report, Barbara and Imogen. So thanks for joining me, first of all. Imogen, could you tell us why you were interested in being part of the project?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Simon. I think it's really important for the Royal Commission to hear directly from people with lived experience because they have the most insight into the issues within the system and where change really needs to happen. I am a person with lived experience, but I'm also working in the mental health sector, and I believe that my knowledge, expertise, and experiences can help to change the system in some really important ways.
I agree, they will change the system in really important ways. Barb, what was your motivation?
Thanks, Simon. I'm an average single mother that had a horrible experience in the emergency with the mental health system when I was sorting assistance for family violence. I wasn't listened to or treated with respect. So I'd like to share my story to raise awareness and hopefully make some changes within the mental health system in Victoria.
Thank you. Look, you both have really clear motivations for why you want to do it and honourable ones. So all the experts who spoke to us, they highlighted systemic issues that they wanted the Royal Commission to focus on. So Barb, I'm interested for you, what do you think the most pressing issues are here in Victoria's mental health system?
Well, in my experience with the emergency department, I wasn't listened to, and I was made to feel that I was in desperate need to be listened to. I can give you an example.
Yeah, that would be good. Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, I was advised by the CAT team to go to the police station to seek an AVO due to family violence. And upon arriving at the police station, I was restrained, searched and put in the back of a van and taken to the emergency department. And again, I was restrained to the bed and forced to take medication against my will, which has it's had a huge impact on me and my two children and the way we look at the emergency department and the mental health system.
Yeah, and that's a common experience that people have spoken about. They went there seeking help, but ultimately they received harm. Imogen, would you like to tell us what you think the Royal Commission should focus on?
Definitely. I feel that crisis support to the mental health system are lacking. There's little to no support between stability and crisis, and people will end up in emergency departments. The emergency department is not equipped to deal with patients in a mental health crisis. In my experience, more often than not, you have to be very physically unwell to receive any attention and care from the staff there, because otherwise you will sit in the waiting room for hours. For myself, and I'm sure for many others, I had to risk my life in order to receive care at an emergency department. I also think, furthermore, once you are seen at ED, the staff there are not equipped to deal with distress. So you're faced with an unpleasant situation, often rudeness and sometimes hostility.
It's like rudeness and hostility. Are there, do you have any examples that you'd be comfortable speaking to?
Yeah, absolutely. During one of my many presentations at an emergency department, I had arrived and I had been self-harming. I was really clearly very distressed. And the hospital solution was to give me a small dose of Valium, take my blood, and that was it. Because I wasn't receiving the help that I needed, I decided to leave and then was faced with multiple large male security guards who pinned me down, and I was brought back to the hospital bed.
Terrific. It's terrific. You both went there seeking help, but you got something harmful that you didn't ask for. That's something that's come through really clearly in these stories. So, the Commission wants to know about the issues, but obviously they and the community want to know what they can do. What are some solutions? Imogen, could you tell me what you think the Commission should focus on when thinking about solutions?
Yeah, I think there needs to be more support outside of the mental health system. There's lots of things that impact our mental health: housing, study, work, social and family connection, just as a few examples. And I think that the mental health system needs to put more emphasis on supporting consumers to set them up in the best way possible. Each consumer should be able to get the help that they want and that they need. If consumers had more support around them, I think that there would be less need to go to hospital. Once you were discharged from hospital, the care shouldn't end there. For consumers, it's often a very difficult transition from hospital to back home and into the community. People need extra support and guidance to help make that transition as smooth as possible.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You want to address the reasons why people get in hospital or are forced to go to hospital, but then if they are there, you want it to be a smooth transition out so they don't find their way back in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Barb, what do you think the Commission should focus on when thinking about solutions?
Yes, I believe the emergency department should focus on physical emergencies and perhaps another system set up, something like wellness centres that are more welcoming and do have the time to listen to you. Maybe alternative therapies like yoga and meditation rather than prescription medication that don't agree with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I believe also training for police officers and emergency staff, and also people with lived experience working with others with mental illness, because I believe a problem shared is a problem halved, and if people are listened to, that's a great start.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, that's something that we've heard in this project is, the lived experiences workforce is really able to walk alongside people and relate to similar experiences of both personal mental health issues, but then the system itself. So that's come through really clearly.
Exactly.
Yeah. Look, I want to thank you both for speaking so openly and honestly about your story. It's been a personal privilege working with both of you, but I also want to make some quick thanks to the Victoria Legal Aid staff who've helped out with this project, the Department of Health and Human Services who funded it, and the Royal Commission who've been so interested in hearing these stories. Finally, I want to thank the lived experience experts who were part of this project. You've shared your personal experiences, but you've also done so in a way that you can shape a future system that's helpful rather than harmful. So I want to thank everyone for watching, and I encourage you to read our Your Story, Your Say final report, and you'll learn about a broad range of experiences of people in the mental health system. Be sure to check out the links in this video, and please take care.